Welcome everyone that's just logging in. We'll just wait for a couple more minutes for some other people to join. So if you could find yourself a little bit of wall space, because we're going to be using the wall in this workshop. So just have some kind of solid structure near you that you can use. And if you are able to have your video on, then that would be really helpful for me to be able to check that you're doing okay and that you're just not hurting yourself or anything. And throughout this workshop, please feel free to unmute yourself, ask questions, if you prefer, you can leave a message in the chat box. So this is like an interactive workshop, a little bit different to a normal class. So we're going to just purely focus on our headstand practice, and if we have time, we might also have a go at doing a handstand. So we're going to do some exercises that help us develop our core strength and our shoulder strength for headstand, and we'll go over different ways that you can approach it. So thanks so much for joining this workshop in your half-term holidays. I hope your half-term is going well so far. If you don't know me, my name's Robin, and I'm joining you actually in Australia, where I'm travelling, but I am from Gloucestershire originally, and that's my link to Gloucester Cathedral, who have funded this workshop as part of their youth programme. And Gloucester Cathedral have an amazing exhibition on at the moment. They have this giant earth in the cathedral, so I highly recommend going to see it if you're living in the county. And the workshop is all about playfulness and how when we do it during headstand, we're flipping our perspective. We literally look at things from a new way. So it's going to be a very fun class, and just give it your best shot. Like, there's no pressure. It literally took me, I think, 6 months to learn how to do a headstand, like day in, day out, because I was really afraid of it. So if that's you, don't worry. So we're going to have a little bit of fun, and let's just get started with some breathing. So coming onto your mat and sit cross-legged. Bring one hand over the other on your lap and lengthening up through the crown of your head, closing your eyes. Let your legs be really heavy and feel your connection to the ground. So feel your sitting bones. And see if you can gently sway a little bit from side to side until you feel that midpoint. And then staying really still, take a deep breath in, breathing evenly through both sides of the nostrils, trying to have balance. And exhale, focusing on that middle part of your nostrils, the bridge, trying to send air out evenly through left and right nostril. Continue your focus there at the bridge in between the nostrils. And that's our focus point. So as we rest our awareness there, noticing the slightly cooler breath in and the warmer, softer breath out as the air is being heated by our body. Just gently bringing your awareness back to this point if the mind ever gets a little bit distracted. With headstand practice, it's very much mind over matter. So during the session, you might get a little bit afraid, you might go out of your comfort zone a little bit. So just notice when the mind is afraid and see if you can keep coming back to your breath and the movement anytime there's a little bit of fear. And just see it as the mind doing its thing and try and detach yourself from the thoughts and the fear. Okay, so gently open your eyes. And we're going to start off in child's pose. And we'll just warm our body up, ready for it. So wiggling your hips back, take your knees as wide as your mat. Rest your forehead onto the ground. And tune into the physical points of contact your body's making to the ground. So feel the front of your feet, your shins, parts of your kneecap, the palms of the hands, the fingertips, the forehead, and then relax your shoulders, let your forearms drop all the way down onto the mat. Taking a deep breath in, feel the expansion of your rib cage at the side. Deep breath out, press your weight back through your tailbone. Okay, then coming up onto all fours. And you're going to slide your hands back to your knees. And we're going to bring our forehead onto the mat and gently rock yourself forward and back. So this is like a head massage. So most of your weight's on your hands, and just let the weight of your head release any pressure and tightness in the scalp. So exhale as you push the hips back, inhale as you rock forward. And then start to do circular motions. Go to the temples and the eyebrows. And the other way. One more circle. And rest your head in stillness. And pressing into your hands, gently roll yourself up. And then walk your hands out in front of you. And come into downward facing dog. Warming up your ankles by padding out your feet, bending one knee at a time. Inhale as you bend one knee, exhale as you do the other. Okay, and then keep your legs still and roll around on the ball of your right foot, warming up your ankle and your hip. And then changing sides, roll around on the ball of your left foot. Okay, drop down onto your knees. You might be feeling your wrists are a little bit sore. So we're going to make fists with our hands and wrap our thumbs around our fingertips. And then come up high so you've got your wrists under your shoulders. And then you're going to drop your hands out to the side and then pull them up again. So you want to keep your thumbs wrapped around your fingers the whole time. And try not to bend the elbows. And what this is doing is it's strengthening our wrists. So we're going to repeat that a few more times. You might be feeling the stretch in the front of the hand. One more. And then press the left palm down and circle your right wrist. Really warming up. We've got fascia that covers our muscles. So what we're doing here is warming up the fascia. And that's going to help us be a bit more mobile in the wrist. And the other way. And as we're doing this, try and keep your breath consistent, so never holding the breath. Okay, and then give your hand and your wrist a good shake. And then we're going to hover our hand up, spread the fingers as much as you can, and gently place the hand down. And then we'll change sides. Left hand's coming up, circle the wrist, move the fingers. Being really curious with how the wrist is moving. Where's the tension in that circular range? And the other way. And give your arm and your hand a good shake. Keep breathing. Really shake it out. Feel your skin shaking, muscles, the fingers. Spread the fingers out wide, hover them. And gently place it down. Okay, coming back into your downward facing dog. We're going to engage our core. So bend your knees slightly and see if you can, with your fingertips, tap for your toes. See if you can reach. So opposite toes to fingers and then changing side. And as you're doing that, engage your core. So try and keep your hips still and your weight pressing back through your heels. One more tap on each side. And now see if you can grab a hold of your right knee with your left hand and twist. So you're looking under your armpit. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, place it back down, changing sides. Twisting, looking under your left arm, pressing back through your heels. And back to center. Okay, then we're going to go forward into a plank and back into down dog. So when you come forward into plank, line up your shoulders over your wrists, engage the core, bring it back. Squeeze the core to lift your hips up. And you want your head to be relaxed. So you're just isolating the movement in your core. And this is switching on the muscles that we are going to use in our headstand. Okay. Last one. And then take your knees out wide. Turn the palms to face up. And drop your head down. And keep your hips elevated. And this is called puppy pose with a slight variation with our arms. See if you can actually get your thumbs to touch the mat. So the palms are facing up to the sky and you're trying to press each fingernail down into the mat. Take a deep breath and feel the rib cage expand outwards. Deep breath in, press your hips back. One more like that. Okay. We're going to bring opposite hands to elbow and then bring the palms of the hands together. And we're going to come into a pose called dolphin. So it's like down dog, but you're on your forearms. So see if you can lift your chin up towards your shoulders, broaden the shoulder blades, press your weight back through your heels, and have your hips making the triangular point. Holding that there, Feeling this strengthening up the shoulders. Nice, calm, deep breaths. Try and make the inhale and the exhale the same length. And rest it down, drop your knees, lying on your belly, elbows under the shoulders, fingers spread out wide into Sphinx pose, pressing the big toes down. Take a full breath in, lift the chin up, exhale, gently tuck the chin into the chest. Inhale, lift the chin up, exhale down. One more time. And then do some circular motions, getting your chin to just a little kiss over to the shoulder, just skimming past. Warming up the neck. And go nice and slowly. And once we've done that evenly on both sides, bring your head back to center. And then lying all the way back, reaching for your toes and stretching the front of your thighs. So we're going to use our legs quite a lot. And we want our hip flexors to be nice and flexible, because the first variation of headstand we're going to do is using a kick. So see if you can pull your heels in towards your bum until you feel the stretch in your hip flexor. And you want to breathe into the stretch. So inhale, deep breath and explore the sensation. Exhale, relax, soften, try and pull the legs in a bit closer. One more breath here. And let go. Coming back into your dolphin. And this time, so remember with your dolphin that you're going to have opposite hand to elbow, and that's your measurement. That's how wide you want your arms to be. So you're in dolphin, and then you're going to go forward into plank. So make sure your legs are far enough away that you can rock yourself forward into plank. And just do as many as you can. You want to really feel your shoulder, back and core muscles working. Exhale as you lift the hips up. Inhale as you go forward. If it's really tough, try exhaling out of the mouth. One more. And then walk your toes in. Toes in towards the elbows and then toes away. Toes in and walk them out. And just practice that a few times. Walking your feet in and out. And try and get your hips as high up towards you as you can. One more. Okay, and then walk all the way back into plank. Drop the hips down. Replace your hands where your elbows are and come up into a cobra. Press the fronts of your feet down. Take a deep breath. Exhale out of the mouth, whispering up. Inhale. Exhale, lower down a little bit. And a little bit lower. Make a pillow for your head. Give your hips a little shake, relax your legs. Let your body be still and take a moment to rest and to slow your heart rate down. You might be able to feel your heart beating on the ground. Okay. And then when you're ready, slowly come back up. And hopefully now we've sort of engaged those muscles that we're going to be using. There's a couple more exercises that we just want to open up our hips and our hamstrings. So if we bring our right leg forward into a low lunge, and when we come into our lunge, we're going to sink the hips and open our chest to look forward. And it's the arching of your lower back and the opening of your chest that helps you stretch more deeply into that left hip flexor. And then when you go back, you're going to straighten out the right leg, toes up. And just keep transferring your weight forward and back. Make sure that this rocking isn't hurting your left kneecap. If you need a bit more padding, just fold your mat in half. And go in time with your breath. Inhale forward, exhale back. Okay. And then hold this one with the leg out to the side. And then we're going to turn. So you're going to bend the knee and transfer your weight. So on the ball of your right foot and your left leg is out. And then we're going to twist and turn over our left leg, stretching your inner thigh. When you exhale, try and get the palms down, bend your elbows and fold your body in towards your leg. Okay, and then turning all the way around. So now we're doing the opposite side. So you've got your left leg forward, your right leg back, and rocking yourself forward and back. Toes are up. Deep breath in. Exhale. One more. Okay, and then when you're ready, we're going to put the weight on the ball of our left foot, straighten our right leg out, and twist and lean over that right leg. Palms of the hands down, bend your elbows to fold. Keep your awareness really grounded in your body and your breath. And then step both feet together. And let's see how our balance is this morning. So coming into a low garland, try and get your thighs to be parallel with the roof. And then bring the palms of your hands together. And then grab a hold of opposite elbow. Squeeze your core. Lift your arms up. And then palms of the hands together. And now keep the heels up and slowly start to straighten your legs up. Okay, nice. I'm just going to tilt the screen slightly. So we're going to come into our first headstand practice. So all of the exercises we've done help you prepare for your headstand. So if you're struggling with headstand, then you want to just focus on repeating those exercises and trying to get more repetitions. So I'm going to send you the recording of this after the session, so there's no pressure for you to nail it straight away. So the first one, we actually want to have like a good steps distance away from the wall, and we're going to be kicking. So kicking is the easiest way to get up into a headstand, but it's quite dangerous to kick when your head is on the ground because you can hurt your neck. So you want to make sure that your head is off the ground for this one. So I'm going to show you, and I'll just walk you by step, and then you can have a go. If you feel happy to put your video on, then that would be really great, because then I can just check that everyone is doing it safely. Okay, so we start like in dolphin with opposite hand to elbow, and you're going to bring your hands down. And remember, you want to have a nice big gap between your body and the wall. And then we're going to bring the palms of our hands together, and we've formed this triangular shape, and triangles are really strong. So you want to try and spread your weight evenly from your elbows up into your hands. And then we come up into dolphin, and we're going to have a kicking leg. So we're going to try on both sides. So I'm going to start with my left leg as my kicking leg. And my right leg that's on the ground is my bouncing leg. So I'm going to bend the knee a little bit, and I'm going to touch my left toes down with my kicking leg and kick it up. And did you see my right leg just did a little bounce? So squeeze the core, exhale, kick up, and a little bounce. And just keep repeating that a few times, and see if you can get your kicking leg to touch the wall and your right leg to go in towards your chest. And this right leg is going to help us play with balance. So see if you can move the leg away from the wall. And then maybe try the other side. You can always take a little child's pose and rest if you get tired. But keep your head off the ground. So your head is lifting up with that one. So my head can move the whole time. So remember to try and exhale as you kick up, and you want to bend the knee in towards the chest. So the kicking leg is going to be straight. So you touch the toes down and then up. Keep it nice and straight. Inhale as you tap, exhale up. Try and calm your breath. And if the wall feels too far away, maybe try coming a little bit closer to the wall if that makes you feel safer. Yeah, you can probably feel the body really heating up and the heart rate. Try one more time, maybe a different leg. The closer in you have your feet towards your elbows, the easier it's going to be for you to kick your leg. So just focus on swinging the leg back. That's it. Okay. And then resting in child's pose, everyone. This time with your child's pose, bring the palms of your hands together, back behind your head. And just walk your elbows forwards towards the front of the mat and in towards the side of your head. And feel that stretching under your armpits. Okay, and then gently roll yourself up. And then we're going to have another go at headstand. Slightly different variation. So for this one, we're going to go right up against the wall. We're going to fold our mat into a third, so it's nice and thick. And we're going to, I'll show you nice and close to the screen. So you're going to have your hands opposite hand to elbow. And then you're going to keep that distance and open your hands out and interlock your fingers. And that's going to create like a little nest for you to place your head. And how we know which part of our head to put down is you bring your thumbs into your eyebrow center, and where your first finger reaches, that's where you want your head to touch the ground, because that's the strongest part. But you're only actually going to have a little light touch of your head, because you want to be using your core to pull your body up. So just have a little watch first. So I'm nice and close to the wall, and I'm measuring my arms, and I'm making that little nest for my head with my hands. And I'm going to gently place my head down, and I'm in dolphin. And I'm going to walk my feet in as close as I can. And I'm lifting my head up towards my shoulders. And I keep walking my toes until they can't come any closer. And then I bend my knees, I squeeze my inner thighs, and I lift my legs up, and the wall's there if I need. So see if you can practice lifting by squeezing the inner thighs to roll up. You don't want to kick in this variation and then rest. If the rolling is too difficult, then just practice walking your feet in and out to get the flexibility of your hamstrings and your core.
Robin, how did you measure the thing again to see which bit of your head it is?
Oh yeah, so you put your thumbs in between your eyebrows, and then where your fingers touch the crown of your head, you place it there. So you're going to put your head's going to be, so you're going to put that part of your head on the ground, and then your hands back behind your head. That's it. So then have your mat nice and thick up against the wall. Get your measurement, gentle cradle for your head. And then come up into dolphin so your hips are high, and try and straighten your legs. Engage your core and keep walking your toes in as close as you can. And then when your feet can't come in any closer, squeeze your inner thighs, bend your knees, and try and push up through your heels without kicking. That's it. Nice. That's it. Emily, that was really, really close. You definitely can do this. Be really patient with yourself. It takes lots of practice. So once your feet can't come in any closer, bend the knees, squeeze the inner thighs, push your hips back towards the wall. That's it. Emily, if you can, try and get your hips to be back, further back. Okay, when you've had enough, of this one, we'll all meet lying on our back. And we'll come back to it again in a bit. But we'll just stretch out and rest. Because when your muscles start to get fatigued, then it gets a little bit harder. So the key for headstand is to do a little bit every day. So we'll come back to that in a second. So just lying on your back, hugging your knees into your chest. And then let's give our back a little massage. So doing circles. And become aware of the points of the back that are touching the ground. Imagine if you had paint on your back. Imagine you're trying to get all of the paint off your back into the mat, leaving a print. So you want to move your legs so that you can reach the whole of your back. And circle in the opposite direction. And with your breath, you want to inhale as your arms extend and exhale as you bend your elbows. Okay. And then we're going to bring the right leg in, left leg out. We're going to do something called a supine twist. So you're going to bring your left hand on top of your right knee, and the right leg's going to come over to the left, and the right arm's going to go out to the side. So you've got your wrist in line with your shoulder. And we're going to look out over towards our right middle finger. Taking a deep breath in, feel the chest rise, rib cage expand, and belly lift. Exhale, feel the belly hug in, rib cage draws in, and the chest drops. And try and twist a bit more. Maybe bring your knee up a bit closer towards your chest. And then gently turn all the way back round to center. Changing sides, left leg in. As you exhale, twist your left leg over to the right and look over to your left. That's it, opposite leg going across the body. Close your eyes and trace the breath through the torso. Try maybe moving the knee up a little bit higher towards your chest, and that will change the stretch in the hip and the lower back. And then gently come all the way back round to center. Hug both knees back into the chest. And then we're going to rock forward and back, just warming up our core again. Keep the chin tucked into the chest. And see if you can start to power up through your legs and go into a squat. And then down. So to make it easier, you can always cross your legs if you're finding it hard. Okay, and then after this one, we'll come all the way up to standing. And we're going to have another practice of that version of headstand with when our head's actually touching the ground. So I'm going to show you the next step. I think some of you are ready to try this next step, and some of you will probably just want to practice staying close to the wall. So in time, you can start to move yourself further and further away from the wall as you start to build confidence in your point of balance. So when you move away from the wall, this is what it's going to look like. So it's the same thing. You set your arms up into that triangular base. You gently interlock your fingers and you place the head down. You come up into dolphin, walk the feet in, going right up onto the tips of your toes and lift your hips back. Bend your knees, bring one foot up at a time and just hold it there. And press down your weight through that triangular shape. Try and lift your head up. So you're lifting your head up to your shoulders so there's not too much weight on the ground. Smooth, strong breath. And then see if you can take one leg up and then the other. And just practice doing that. You've always got the wall there. You can always bend your knee if you're wobbling a bit, and that will help you find that point of balance. And then rest down. So have a little go with gradually starting to move away from the wall. If you don't feel ready for that, then just practice walking your feet in and out. Or if you want to, strip it right back to those exercises we did and maybe do dolphin to plank. And maybe just focus on getting your core strength. And this one's also helping your flexibility of your hamstrings. So I'll give you a little bit of time just to work on that. And if you want to, you can also try that kicking version if you found the kicking easier than the rolling. Don't worry if you can't get it in this session. It's just about having a little bit of fun and playing. Okay, and then everyone just relax down from whatever you've, whichever one you're doing. And we're going to just stretch out our shoulders because you might be finding that the neck gets a little bit tight. So we're going to do a pose called thread the needle. So you're going to bring your right arm under your left and you're going to put your weight onto your right shoulder and you're going to look out over your right hand. And try and square your hips because notice that one hip will probably be higher than the other. So get them to be level. And breathing into your shoulder blades. Okay, and then gently turn back to center. Thread your left arm through your right. Feel the sideways movement of your rib cage. Focus on the breath being really expansive and stretching out the back. And come back to center. And we'll take some cat-cows. So as you inhale, arch the back as much as you can, looking forward. And then exhale, chin into the chest, round the back. Taking a couple of those. And let your head release as you look at your knees, stretching around the back of the neck, which might have got a bit compressed when you do your headstand. Okay. Take one more of those. And back to center. And then we're going to have a go at doing a handstand. So if you come up to standing, and I want you to imagine, I'm going to just put the screen a little bit higher, a question mark. So imagine a question mark shape. And we're going to bring our arms up. And you're going to bring your shoulders up towards your ears so that you lose your neck. Okay, and now see, like we just did with cat-cow, if you can press your shoulder blades out, your hips are forward, so you're kind of making this question mark shape. And that is weirdly the shape you want to go into a handstand with, because when you go upside down, that will help you get your back nice and straight. So, just practice walking along your mat in that position, shoulders up to the ears, shoulder blades separate, hips forward, practice walking in that way. It does feel a little bit funny, and then turn and try and keep that position held. Okay, so that's the muscles we want to use. And then we want to have like our whole body, we want to be able to lie on the mat. Let me turn the screen down so you can actually see. You want to have your fingertips right up against the side of the wall, and that's just a measurement. Okay, so then you tuck under your toes, and you're going to step back there. And then we're going to have our right leg forward in a lunge. And then we bring our arms up, like we're doing that question mark shape. And then we're going to reach our fingertips nice and close to the wall. And we're going to have our kicking leg again. So remember, the kicking leg stays straight and the leg that's on the ground bounces. You're going to kick up and down and do that a few times, trying to get the kick higher each time. Gradually make your way to the wall. Remember that question mark shape, and then just hold it there. And see if you can have a go at that. So remember that question mark shape. You want to pull your shoulders up. And you want to look down in between your hands. So that's it, relax your head. And you want to try and get your back to not arch. So maybe even bend your knees so that you can bring the soles of your feet to the wall. If one leg isn't working for you, then maybe also try the other leg. Okay, one more try because the body's probably getting a little bit tired now. And then come and rest with your legs up against the wall. So to get your bum up against the wall, I recommend lying onto your side and then flipping your legs up. And keep wiggling until your bum touches the wall. And bring your hands back behind your head. And wiggle your back until you're comfortable. You want your back to feel really flat. Okay, and then bring your hands onto your belly. Close your eyes. As you inhale, feel your belly gently rising up towards the palm of your hands. As you exhale, let your belly drop down. And that's all we're going to do for a couple of minutes. It's just lying here still, letting our belly rise and fall into the palm of our hands. And try and make each breath like waves on the ocean, really smooth, slow. Feel your whole body starting to relax with every exhale. And this is really good for the heart because it allows our circulation to have a little bit of a break. It's less work for the heart to pump blood around our body. So we're going to bring our arms by our side and you're going to bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet into the wall. You're going to press your feet into the wall and gently start to roll up onto your shoulders and walk your feet one at a time and bring your hands onto your hips. And this is called shoulder stand. So keep your elbows in nice and close. And then once you've got your balance, try bringing one leg away from the wall at a time. Focus on your breath in your belly. And then slowly try maybe bring the soles of the feet together, the knees out wide. Try a different shape with the legs. And then one foot back towards the wall at a time. And we're going to gently roll down our back, vertebrae by vertebrae, just realigning the back. And once your hips are all the way down to the ground, hug your knees into your chest, roll to your side, and gently come up into sitting. And sitting cross-legged, and we'll just roll our shoulders. So we've got our fingertips on our shoulders, and we're bringing our shoulders up to our ears and then down our spine. And keep the head still. You might hear some sort of clicking as the knots in your shoulder blades rub against the bone. And the other way. Inhale as you lift the shoulders up to the ears, exhale as you go down. And relax the arms, inhale, bring them up. Exhale, forward fold. With every exhale, gently melt your body down a bit closer towards the ground. Feeling the stretch in the outer part of the thighs and the lower back. And then roll yourself up. And we'll take a little side stretch. So you're going to bring opposite hand to knee, and then bring your other arm back behind you, nice and close towards the middle of your spine, and twisting over that shoulder, opening the side of the chest. Your head doesn't have to look all the way back if that's straining the neck. You can look a little bit closer towards the front if that's better. Where do you feel your breath as we hold this? Coming back round to center. Make sure you've changed the cross of your legs so that when we do the fold, it's the opposite side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. And see what it feels like. Does it feel different having your legs crossed in a different way? Taking deep, slow breaths as we hold it here. Can you get a little bit closer? Can you walk your hands forward? And if it's really tight, maybe try sighing out the breath as you exhale. Gently come back up. And we'll take our twist on the other side. So grabbing hold of that knee, that gives you the resistance to turn and twist. Hand in nice and close, so you're sitting up tall. Relax your face, maybe gently smile as you breathe into your lungs. And turning back round to center. And come and lie down on your back for relaxation. We're going to be lying here for about 4 minutes. So get yourself comfortable. Make sure if you've got a hairband, it's out of the way. Have your arms by your side, palms up. If your lower back's hurting, you could always put a cushion under your knees. And this is a really important part of the session because it's going to let our body rebalance, because we've put in a lot of effort and energy just now with doing those headstands. I'm just going to dim the lights down a little bit. So with your eyes closed, bring your awareness to distant sounds that you can hear. Just searching out for these distant sounds. Moving your awareness like a radar beam from sound to sound. And then let all of the sounds in the distance just fade away. So now all that you're aware of is your body lying here on the ground. Let your focus turn internally so that there's nothing you need to do or say or think about. you can really just let yourself lie here in stillness. What does it feel like to lie still in this moment? Take the time to really feel into your experience right now. No rush, nowhere else you need to be. And feel the whole of your back of your body becoming very heavy, like a heavy metal, like steel. Heavy and sinking into the mat. You can feel all of your bones and your muscles softening. And the front of your body feels very light and open. You can breathe naturally with ease. And just watch with curiosity as you feel your body breathing without you even having to think or do anything. And take a slow, deep breath in. And then hold the breath. And take a long breath out of the mouth. And then gently turn to your left side. Just pausing on the side and giving thanks for our bodies, for them being strong and healthy and fit. And whatever your experience of headstand today, don't give yourself a hard time if you couldn't do the full thing. It's all about the practice. So hopefully you've got some nice tools that you can use on a daily basis, and then in time you can get there. Gently bring yourself up to sitting. And then if you want to, you can just bring your hands together, bowing the head. Thank you so much for joining the session, the workshop. And thank you, Gloucester Cathedral, for funding it and for the spaces to be free for you all to join. I hope you have a wonderful, what day is it? Wednesday. It's Wednesday evening for me here in Australia, so I'm going to go to bed. Hopefully I'll be able to go to bed. It's not actually recommended to do headstand before bed. It's much better at your time in the day. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone.